We go 3, 2, 1, and then we clap.
Is that what that sound is?
Yeah.
Oh, man. Okay.
Yeah.
No, it's our butt cheeks. every week we just... Welcome back to Stuff That We Like / Enjoy, at least at this point in time. I'm Caleb.
And I'm Christina.
We're the Castanettas. And today we have some very special people here with us. We have Nathan Yake and Karson Acton. Now, these two have been friends of Christina and I's for what?
Mostly Christina.
Mostly Christina's.
We stayed for Christina.
That cuts deep, but I'm
Came
gonna
for
hide
Caleb, stayed for Christina.
It's probably a little over 12 years at this point.
a little over 12 years, which is crazy. Nate, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself for the people listening, and then we'll jump into Karson.
All right, my name's Nate. Oh, you already knew that. But I'm a music producer, and I have a
Aspiring.
Ouch.
Somebody's giving me money to do it, so that means I am that thing. Which means I'm... Never mind. I have a wife, and I have 2 kids, and they're great. And I mean, that's pretty much it. I mean,
Where do you hail from?
Oh, I hail from Detroit, Michigan.
Ah.
Yes, the
chosen
beautiful city.
As they call it. In the prophetic circles.
Prophetic circles. Yeah. And yeah, lived in Kansas City with you people for, 4 years, and then 2 years in Columbia, and then another 3 years here. So
Wow.
crazy. We've been gone for a while, but now we're back.
Now we're back. Right
Cool.
on.
Glad you're here.
Yeah, glad to be here.
Karson, would you tell the people, I mean, you're a returning guest, and everybody remembers you because you were one of our most popular episodes, but
I'm here to
would
reclaim
you...
that title, by the way.
Oh, you hold your mic up to...
I'm here to reclaim the title.
Okay, of...
Oh, I resent that it was stolen. You guys stole it from me.
No, the
Of
most listened
listens,
episode.
yeah.
You're going to reclaim it
I'm here to
from us,
reclaim it
the
from you.
hosts of
Yeah.
the podcast?
I want it back. I brought backup.
Okay, oh, yeah.
Nice.
I
I'll
love
do
it.
anything.
I mean,
Anything for love.
that's actually a good intro to... That's basically who you are, is like our most winning podcast guest.
Yes.
You don't have to say
More.
any more.
Yeah. Definitely your greatest accomplishment.
Yeah.
Yes. My work on this podcast actually is the heights that I have achieved.
Yeah.
For sure. Yeah.
Well, welcome, guys. We have a couple questions Christina's lined up for us, and we're going to jump right in.
Yeah. Well, it's more of a debunking or some Christmas myths. So something we were going to talk about on our last episode, talking about how to not waste your 20s, but that episode went so long and was so enjoyable. So I'm just going to go over some things that you might not know aren't real about what we believe about Christmas, specifically Nativity story. And yeah. So the number one misconception is that Mary and Joseph couldn't find a room at a crowded inn because of the census. In reality, the term in Luke 2:7 usually is translated guest room, but for some reason our Bibles say in an inn, which makes you think of like a hotel. Whereas it actually would be a guest room in a house. It's the same Greek word that's used for the upper room in the Last Supper story, that they had a guest room, an extra room. So in first century Bethlehem, the families would live upstairs, and then they kept the animals downstairs in like an attached stable, kind of like a mid-basement type of a thing. And so Joseph, returning to Bethlehem, likely had relatives, and then he went and stayed at their house, and their guest room was already filled. And so they slept in kind of the downstairs
They put
area.
the pregnant woman in a barn.
In a barn.
Interesting. Great people.
Yes. So therefore, Jesus was likely born in like the lower family area and laid in a manger, which was actually a stone feeding trough. It's not like a nice little wooden thing.
Right.
So yeah, he wasn't like in a barn somewhere because all of the hotels in Jerusalem were filled up. Bethlehem. So did you know that?
I did not know that.
Okay.
Yeah, I didn't
Interesting.
know that
That
either.
was
There we
good.
go. Myth busted.
So he was born in a stone trough?
Well, he wasn't born in it, but
Or sorry,
at the
he was
manger.
placed...
Yeah, he
The
was
manger
placed in it at some point. She wasn't standing over the trough. That's
The OG bathtub delivery.
OG bathtub
Yeah.
delivery for sure.
Yeah.
Okay, but he was
It was
born.
kind of the thought of like a walkout basement where you kept your donkeys and your sheep.
okay,
you know.
Yeah.
attached to the house.
yeah,
The classic,
like a classic walkout basement.
the
that you
classic
keep
walk-up basement.
your
Yeah.
sheep.
With your cows in it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So it wasn't like they were going around Bethlehem looking for hotels and all the inns were filled. Just the guest room
that's interesting.
at his family's house likely was full.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice. That's a good
Okay,
one.
here is another misconception. Nativity scenes often show shepherds and the Magi, or the three wise men, together at the manger. The shepherds came on the night that Jesus was born, according to the biblical story, but the Magi came much later to a house in Bethlehem. So it states that they were in a house, likely about 2 years later. So
Wait.
the two groups never met.
Wait, so the Bible says that it was in a house, like in the biblical text? Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I did not know that.
Yes.
So
yeah.
they were in a house when they were visited by the Magi.
By the Magi, yes.
and it's not the same stable house.
Yes.
Word that
so
was
it
earlier.
wasn't that the shepherds came and saw Jesus right after he was born and then a bunch of Magi showed up. It was a couple years later.
Oh, interesting. So he was probably like 1 or 2.
Yes.
By the time he actually got his gifts.
Yeah.
Do you have any insight on what like Magi were? Like, were they like the wise men of kings or something?
Yes. So likely, which is another thing. So there weren't 3 wise men. We kind of think that too. There's Bible, there's Christmas songs about there being 3 wise men. In the
Yeah.
Bible, it never tells how many Magi or wise men there are. People get that from there was 3 different gifts that were brought in, frankincense, myrrh, and gold. And so they're
Interesting.
like 3 different Magi,
Wow.
3 gifts. So it could have been, it was more than one. There was a multitude, but it could have been 15. It could have been 12. It could have been 4, but we don't really know. But Magi likely came from Babylon. So they would have been in like the story of Daniel in the Bible. He gets put over the Magi, the people who were divination or astrologers, saw signs in the sky. They were really into astronomy as well as astrology. And so there's the belief that they knew different alignments of the stars. And you can get really in depth with this about like a star being where in alignment with like Jupiter and Venus and all this, like because they saw the different, how there's kind of like astrology today with the 12 different signs that they interpreted. Oh, when a star is in a certain place, that means that a king is born. So they were into that kind of magic realm. So these weren't like faithful Jewish people who were looking for a Messiah.
Wow.
They were like kind of sorcerers and magicians.
Really?
Yeah.
Although I thought I had heard that because it's impossible that Jews stayed, like there were some that stayed in Babylon from it. So it could have been people that stayed there, like possibly that never came back.
It could have been. I looked into that, and that's more maybe a romanticizing of the story of like, oh, there's these faithful Jewish people in Babylon looking for Jesus.
Okay.
Where most likely it was just people that weren't. Who knows though?
Weird.
Yeah, but there weren't just 3 of
How did it
them.
bring them there though, all the way to Jerusalem? Like what made them?
They followed the star
They followed
that
the
they've
star.
been
That's
looking at
crazy.
in the astrological alignment.
But was that a relatively common occurrence like every 100 years? Or are you saying that? Or is it just like this was a random one-off time? that
Yes,
star
and
was
they
in the sky?
knew when different stars lined up. According to them, it meant something.
That's
Yeah.
so funny. I always, because of like cartoons and stuff, always imagine like a hovering star. That you just, it's just like they followed the star. Makes the star move.
Same,
It makes so
yeah.
much more sense. They were astronomers, astrologers.
Yes.
They followed the star patterns, and that's really interesting.
They stopped and the star was like,
Yeah. and they might have traveled on camels, but we have no idea about that either.
all right.
Right. That's so
Yeah.
interesting.
So they could have come on in on donkeys, but yeah.
Yeah, because the camels are commonly like a desert animal.
Yeah.
You would assume camels.
Yeah.
Exactly. So another myth busted.
Myth busted.
All right, this is a fun one. Mary, what did she ride on into Bethlehem? Well, she's very pregnant. She's coming in for the census.
Was it
Sleigh.
What is it? Cover all the bases.
Yeah.
Was it a donkey?
So almost every Christmas card, Christmas movie we watched shows pregnant Mary on a donkey. The Bible never mentions a donkey
No
or any
kidding.
animal. Luke 2, verses 4 through 5 simply says that Joseph and Mary traveled from Nazareth to Bethlehem. So they could have walked, they could not have. People also, and if you watch kind of Christmas nativity stories, it's kind of like Mary is like 9.5 months pregnant. They're like wandering around the city. We have to find an inn. She's giving birth. Whereas in the Bible, it actually says they got to Bethlehem. And then when the time came for her to give birth, there wasn't a room in the guest house. So they could have been there for a couple weeks, maybe not.
Yeah.
But it wasn't for sure that very pregnant Mary was like on the verge of giving birth on a donkey, riding on it.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's pretty irresponsible if they were there for 8 months.
That's what I'm saying.
And didn't look for a room.
That's what I'm saying.
They're like, rent's due and we can't afford it, but we'll find somewhere else.
So, I mean, I would guess it was probably within a couple of weeks. So they weren't there for a long time.
Yeah, for sure.
Because Mary did go live with her cousin Elizabeth for, I think, at least 3 months. They talk about that in the Bible. So,
Nice.
so that's another
Interesting.
kind of interesting myth. All right. What day was Jesus born on?
In the spring.
December 25th.
Oh, here we go.
And then you said in
we
the
got the
spring?
spring.
Spring.
We got
December
December
25th?
25th.
Easy.
What do you think, babe?
I'm going to cut the difference. June 3rd.
Okay. Go.
Choose your birthday.
I was too
nervous.
too proud to say June 5th, my birthday.
Yeah. No, I actually do think it was spring, right? I think I've heard that.
All right, you guys are pretty close. So the misconception is that December 25th is Jesus's birthday. In reality, the Bible gives no date, and we don't really know about that. In ancient days, like the day of your birth wasn't a really big deal. People were remembered more by when they died.
Really?
So like birthdays
Hard to
weren't
celebrate that though.
It is.
For your life.
So it wasn't something that was like, routinely recorded that everybody would know, oh, it's your birthday. So the Bible gives no date, but early Christians chose December 25th, likely due to the tradition that Jesus died on March 25th, which is in the Catholic Church celebrates the day of his death kind of around Easter time. So early Christians believed that holy people died on the same date of the year that they were conceived on. So there was this kind of mythology that if you were holy, that, you would die on that day. And this is because like Moses or Abraham, like people's ages in the Bible, it's like Moses died at 120, Abraham died at 140. And so they take that quite literally, that they died like on the day of their conception. So because it's believed that Jesus died on March 25th, then they would count 9 months back, or 9 months forward from his conception, which would be December 25th.
Oh,
So that's kind of how it got
fascinating.
established. And also he wasn't born on like 0 AD or like 1 AD. They think it was in between 4 to 6 AD.
What?
Okay, sorry. In between 4 BC and 4 AD because Herod died in 4 BC.
4 BC. There you go.
Yeah.
Okay, run that by me one more time.
Okay, sorry. So Jesus was, I read this a little wrong. I get BCs and ADs mixed up.
Okay.
So Jesus was likely born in between 6 and 4 BC
Okay.
because historically we know that Herod died in 4 BC.
And that was supposed to be the year that Jesus was born.
Like at
when
least
Herod
2
died.
years after because the Magi came
Oh,
and Herod's
right.
like, go find him. And then he got stricken with worms and
Okay.
got eaten up.
Been
Yeah.
there.
And
Classic Wednesday night. Am I right, my guy?
and also to tag on to that, shepherds keeping their flocks at night would have been either in the springtime or fall. It definitely would not have been of winter, too cold, and summer would have been too hot. So
Okay.
likely Jesus was born in spring or fall time. So people really are like the March 25th conception kind of a thing. But yeah.
So not June 3rd.
No, not June
You
3rd.
just had to.
Yes.
My one guess. So if we're celebrating funerals like they did back then instead of birthdays, how would you guys want your funerals celebrated? We'll go with Karson first. He looks the most ready.
I'm trying to. Can you one more time? What was the?
So they didn't celebrate like your funeral
Birthdays.
every year that you died.
Right.
But, like,
when you
yeah.
died, they had a celebration.
Yeah.
Rather
How's that
than
different from funerals now?
Well, it's different because instead of your birthday, they celebrated your funeral. So
that was a much more significant date to be remembered by.
Yeah.
Was the date of your death.
And I know everybody says, I want to be celebrated at my funeral, but you don't celebrate at somebody's funeral. So how would you want to be? Hated that guy.
I just want somebody to spike the punch so that everybody will celebrate it. They'll go crazy.
I like that. There we go.
Like with something crazy, something strong,
Yeah.
so that everyone's out of their minds.
There we go. Nobody remembers
I
the
can do that
entire
for you.
event.
Do that for me, please.
Yeah.
There we go. We'll make it happen.
They'll remember me. Because they'll remember that the day that they degraded themselves.
I'll make sure your dear mother.
Yeah. I think I made out with my cousin. Yeah.
Every time they look at that DUI on the record,
They'll remember me.
Nate's record.
It'll be like 9/11.
Yeah.
Where were you on Nate's funeral?
Yeah.
What were you doing?
Where did you end up at
Where
Nate's
did you end
funeral?
up?
Yeah. I was driving backwards through a Taco Bell.
I love it.
It's good.
Yeah.
I don't know. I talked about graveyards and stuff on one of our
Oh yeah,
last
that's a
where I
good
was
one.
with you
Yeah.
guys. I think about my funeral a lot.
Really?
you?
Yeah,
Really?
I don't
It's
know
probably
why.
pretty healthy, maybe.
Maybe.
don't
Yeah,
know.
I don't know for sure. Wondering how you're going to be remembered. Wondering if you have done anything of worth. Actually, weirdly for me, it has a lot to do with how I'll be remembered more and more negatively. Like,
Interesting.
yeah, like I feel a lot of shame connected to my funeral for some reason. It's a weird thing that I've realized about myself, where I'm like, when you're left alone there, and you're on the whatever it's called, the casket, and in the casket, I'm gonna be on the casket.
Like you're not shutting me
That's
out.
how we celebrate
Lay
Karson.
me
We lay
out.
him on
On
it.
the casket, just yeah.
But yeah, when I'm in the casket, I guess it's like you're defenseless. You have no. I'm like I found that I'm insistent. I'm passionate, even obsessed with being understood. And so I'm always.
Wow.
I feel like I'm constantly trying to outrun misconceptions about myself. And trying to explain myself and justify myself all the time. And then
Totally.
I'm dead. It's like, who's going to speak for me then?
I'm gonna roast you at your funeral, dude.
No mercy.
No mercy.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. So I don't know. I'm a big words of affirmation guy. So I do hope that, and my wife is not a public speaker at all. So I'm hoping people will step up and say some.
Say, Leah, get up here.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. I hope she finds it in her. No. But I don't know. I hope someone is able to capture it, because you have no perspective on it when
Wow.
you're here. So
Absolutely.
hope someone's able to.
Wow.
And
Well,
yeah.
I was saying maybe if unless you die in a tragic accident, maybe once you get really, really old, like 87, and you don't got much time left, we could hold the funeral for you while you're still there.
That's not a bad
Ooh.
idea.
And you
Funeral.
could,
Living funeral.
We'll put
hear what
you-
we have to say.
That'd be nice.
And then you can die in peace, all the nice things that people have said about you. And if you feel misunderstood, then you can correct it. It's like a
Yeah.
dress
Yeah.
rehearsal for the actual funeral.
Dress rehearsal for your funeral. Awesome.
Wow, that's really deep.
Yeah.
That's a really good take. What about you?
I just cremate me and toss
cremate
me
you?
somewhere in the mountains.
You don't care.
No.
You don't care at all.
No, I'd rather not have a funeral. I mean, other for the sake of if people, it was cathartic for them. But yeah, I
Yeah.
find them, I don't like them.
What don't you like about them?
Oh, they're sad. And you're stuck there.
You run from funerals.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. It's I always ask people why, how they would want to be buried or if they want to be cremated and why. So you say cremated.
Yeah.
Why?
Well, I mean, I think it's more practical. It's more cost efficient. I don't think that, when we get raised from the dead, when Jesus comes back, it doesn't matter. I think if we're a decayed body that's eaten by worms or we got burnt up,
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
So are you still thinking about other people more, even in regards to your death? Because you're making it easy on
question.
on
Yeah.
them.
Also,
having
I
to
mean,
deal
I
with
don't
your
want
death.
anybody to pose me or like a
touch you?
mortician,
Yeah.
touch me and I don't know.
What if it was
arrange
me though? I was your mortician.
Ooh.
I just do a terrible job.
See, I wouldn't want to do that to you.
Well, I would do it for you though, because
Right,
I love
exactly.
you.
Yeah.
So you're taking that from me.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. But I imagine being rather old when I die. My grandpa's funeral we had just this last June, and it was wonderful and super enjoyable because my grandpa was 82 years old and had lived, a long life, and now is with Jesus.
Yeah.
So I think it's different, maybe thinking of like if I died at this age,
Yeah.
that would be horrible.
Yeah, that would be a whole different funeral for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What about you?
I don't know. I think that I share some of Carson's highlights to his funeral. Not like the wanting to be able to defend myself, but I just want people to be like remember me in the best way and like talk about me in a way that's like uplifting for everybody there.
That's interesting because earlier you were saying you're not a words of affirmation guy at all.
No, but I am an acts of service person. And I think that
So
that
you
would be
want her
my.
to become a mortician.
I would do it for you.
That's the
I would
thing,
do it.
though. Absolutely. When we had this conversation initially, like, would you rather be cremated or not? I said no because I want people to come to my grave and be able to like get closure. I want that to be my last gift to them is closure. Whereas Christina is like, get rid of me. You'll never
No,
see me
but
again.
I could
It's
be
like-
cremated and then still buried in a
Yes,
place.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Which I wasn't thinking about
Yeah.
that. But yeah, I think it's more of like an act of service to other people to be like able to get some closure and also say some nice things at the same time at the funeral.
It is kind of nice to see the body of the person too, because that really does give you closure too when you see like, oh, there they are.
But you can have a viewing.
Yeah, you know, viewing. Yeah,
And then
that's-
get
Is
cremated.
that different than a funeral or is the viewing
wake?
at the funeral?
no, it's the viewing is. Yeah, I mean, you can have a funeral that is also a viewing, I guess.
Okay.
Just point is like you can have a viewing. Like my dad, we had a viewing, and then he was also cremated, but he was also done up by a mortician, so we were able to like see him and like there he is, and then he was cremated. So it's not. Yeah, we didn't have like a huge grave plot because that gets expensive too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The gravestones.
No, but I
all
could
that.
see that being like helpful, just the full realization you're seeing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Give you
Gives
to
you
say
closure.
goodbye. Yeah.
Yeah.
I like that.
Okay.
Wow.
On to your next.
Back to Christmas.
Christmas myth
Oh,
busting
man.
thing.
Okay, so misconception. A heavenly choir of angels sang glory to God in the highest to the shepherds. Luke 2:13-14 says the angels praised God and said, glory to God in the highest, peace on earth, goodwill towards men. But there's no explicit statement of them singing. So this idea of singing comes from later hymns and carols like Hark the Herald Angels Sing. So not the biblical text itself. So when they praised God and said glory to God, they could have been saying it through song,
Spoken word.
or it could have just been slam
Spoken
poetry.
Slam poetry.
Hark. Yeah, that's all I got.
Yeah.
I was trying to think of more. That's all
I was about to say you could do the whole thing.
Yeah. nah.
I also thought growing up that Harold was like a name of the angel, like
Hark.
Hark.
Oh,
The herald is
Angel.
speaking, baby.
The herald angel. That it was like a type of angel, there's an archangel, and then there's a herald angel.
yeah.
But no.
The Herald
funny.
Angel. Yeah, that makes sense. That's funny.
Okay, another kind of silly one. In the Christmas Carol, "Away in the Manger," it claims that baby Jesus never cried. It says the cattle are lowing, the baby awakes, but little Lord Jesus, no crying he makes. In reality, the Bible never says this, and Jesus is described as being a fully human person. So most likely he cried.
My
just
God
like
ain't no
any
crybaby.
other-
My God ain't no crybaby.
Jesus wept.
My God ain't no crybaby.
He sweated drops of blood. Father, take away those
He works
cups.
hard, okay, but he is no crybaby, okay.
God works hard, man. I think Jesus is probably jacked.
Oh,
Honestly,
for sure.
yeah.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, he
Jacked?
was-
Yeah, like
he was
super
really
strong.
fit.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, he was
Hot.
like
He was
Hot.
Who made it? Oh, they did say he wasn't that attractive. He was like
That's
normal
true.
looking.
Isaiah.
He was
didn't-
normal
They
looking.
said that there was nothing that would
Nothing
nothing
comely.
remarkable about it.
nothing
right?
remarkable.
Yeah.
That to me means like he wasn't shooting lasers or lightning
Or
bolts.
he wasn't like
It
super
wasn't like
tall.
oh
Like,
He wasn't flying.
No, they
He
said
was still
they were referring
I said nothing comely about his appearance, I think.
Yeah.
nothing comely about his godhood.
They just
About
said
his
that there's
appearance.
nothing that would have made you think, oh, that guy is a god for sure.
Right.
That's just
Yes.
that was the point of that.
Yeah.
In the
I
Greek or the Hebrew.
Right, like the
In the Greek, if you look at it.
Yeah, look at it. It doesn't mean that
like the Greek and Roman gods were supposed to be these like larger than life Adonises kind of a thing.
he had legs, like he wasn't like a torso that was floating.
Yeah.
You know, he had legs like a normal person, but he was yoked though, for sure.
Yoked.
Well, like also another, this isn't a Christmas thing, but like they think that, because they mentioned that Joseph was a carpenter, so Jesus was a carpenter by trade, that likely he was a stonemason,
heard that.
he didn't work with
Really?
like, he didn't
Oh.
make like, desks and stools, but that he carved stone. So he would have had to be pretty strong.
Yeah.
Yeah. I wonder if
absolutely.
he ever cheated and just like,
Yeah,
know.
pretty.
Yeah.
Just
He was
used an
behind on a few
angel.
orders.
yes,
It's like,
exactly.
You almost said Jesus cussed, didn't you?
We can't get too sacrilegious on a Christmas
my limit.
podcast.
My God don't cuss. My God don't cuss.
All right, one last silly one. There was not a little drummer boy that played Parumpa Pum Pum at
to
Jesus's
Beg to differ.
Oh.
manger.
Okay, I love to hear the counterpoint.
This
after
came from a Christmas carol
My God
called
had a drummer boy.
The Little Drummer Boy that came out in 1941, and that does not exist in the Bible.
Okay.
Also, that song blows. That song is awful.
It's hard to get
I'll play
into.
my
Like every
best
time they started at a Christmas service, I'm like, this is gonna be a long 4 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do not care for that one.
Yeah.
It's a bold move to sing Ba-ra-pa-pa-bum. And it's funny because there's almost never drums in the arrangements
Oh,
of that
right.
song.
Yeah,
Oh, wow.
it's just a vocal thing. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Sometimes there is. Sometimes it's a very subtle one.
The
But
first beatbox, if you will.
dude, whoa. My God, at the first beatbox. For sure.
So out of those, I think it was 6 or 8 Christmas nativity myths. Which one was the most surprising to you?
Wait, list them off again for me.
Okay, so we
Real
had
quick bullet points.
there wasn't room in the inn. Didn't mean all the hotels in Bethlehem were filled up. There weren't just 3 wise men, and they didn't come on the same night as the shepherds. Mary didn't ride a donkey into Bethlehem. Maybe. We don't know for sure. Jesus was likely not born on December 25th. The angels didn't explicitly sing to the shepherds. Jesus might have cried when he was born, and there was no drummer boy there.
The drummer boy surprised me least. Jesus crying surprised me second least. Crying. I'd say the first one,
Okay.
personally.
Yeah, probably
that
the
was
first one for
that
me,
was
too.
very enlightening.
Yeah.
Very
Pretty interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Magi one for me.
That was
It's
interesting.
like
too.
there's more than 3.
Yeah.
A little side note, we
Bunch
did.
of cheap magi. But, 3 actually brought something, and then a bunch of cheap
Yeah,
kids.
they say
My
3
presence
gifts.
was enough.
but,
My God deserves gold.
Silver and gold he does not desire, I believe is also.
But he deserves it.
He
though.
does deserve it.
does
That's
deserve
true.
it.
No, it was the 2 disciples were like, silver and gold we don't have, but we do have healing for you, for the crippled
Yeah.
guy.
Yeah.
So maybe
Oh.
Jesus does desire silver and gold.
Yeah. Read your Bible.
He did build his city out of it. So
Yes.
that's,
Yeah.
That's true.
Streets of gold.
He does like.
He's a little mercenary. Just a little.
He owns it all.
So what about you? What's something top of the dome that you guys like/enjoy?
Yeah. Doesn't have
Doesn't
to
have
be
to
that
be
deep.
deep. It could just be the first thing you think of that brings you a little bit of joy in the morning, in the evening, not in the afternoon.
Not in the afternoon.
Cutting that one for sure. Yeah.
So no afternoon delights.
No afternoon delights for sure.
Unless it's an afternoon coffee.
Okay.
Yeah, that can be
There we go.
delightful.
Oh no. I don't think you get it.
I do.
Okay, never mind.
All right.
We're moving on then.
You got anything?
No.
I have gotten really into short stories recently.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Yeah. which
Like
has been a
writing
lot of
them
fun.
or reading them?
A little of both, actually. But I was
cool.
talking about reading. Because I'm studying for an American literature course right now. So I'm just trying to read through. I actually hate spoilers with all my heart. So taking a course like this, they all get spoiled. So I'm trying to cram, speed read all,
Interesting.
not speed read, but just cram them which means you get through a lot of really great literature in a short period of time. I'm finding,
man.
but yeah, it's really interesting. They are almost always tragic.
Okay.
Just something weird about the genre. I guess it's because you have to have a hook and a conclusion, like all the parts of a story in in a short period of time.
Totally.
So it has to be a dramatic thing that happens. I mean, it doesn't have to, but a lot of the time that's how it plays out.
Okay.
I mean, a lot of like Ernest Hemingway's are
There's
just
to
like
be,
a
there has to be like a
conversation,
quick
but-
buy-in, like get to the
Yeah.
kind of
yeah. You gotta have it. You gotta make it so that the reader feels like it's worth their time. You need the payoff, and you don't have a long time to build up, get to it, and then have some conclusion. So they're all very often very dramatic, and they. I find that they rely on conversation a lot, which is my favorite part
cool.
of reading and writing. Is like the conversations that people have and how every word is so weighty that it's I think when Ernest Hemingway was writing, they called it the iceberg theory, where the words on the page are just the tip of the iceberg, and then there's all of this implication that's under the surface.
Okay, yeah.
And when you're limited in space, like poetry is the ultimate example, but short story is a close second, where you have to pack your words with meaning. So in those short conversations, they're just loaded with meaning, and they're easy to get through.
nice.
So
So how
very
long are we
enjoyable.
talking?
Yeah, I was like, how
a couple
long
pages
is a short story?
or a couple paragraphs?
It's there. So let's see. One of my favorites is like 40 pages. That's a longer one.
Okay. Okay.
A shorter one would probably be like maybe like a 6-page PDF. I'm sure they can be shorter.
Yeah, that's not bad.
But if you go too much shorter, you're getting into something called flash fiction.
Flash fiction?
Yeah,
That's
which
cool.
is
They
like
have
a
a
story
name
in a
for
couple
it?
paragraphs. Yeah,
Whoa.
which I haven't read or tried anything with that,
Okay.
but that's
Okay.
what it is.
Very nice.
Wow.
Yeah.
What is your favorite couple short stories?
That's a good question. The one I was talking about, the 40-page one, was the first one I ever read. Actually, it was in Kansas City, and it's called The Short Happy Life of Francis Macomber. It's by
Macomber.
Macomber.
Okay.
It's yeah.
Is he British? Sorry.
He's not. I think I'm pretty sure he's American, but it's an Ernest Hemingway short story, and I didn't grow up reading serious literature. The most I read was like Ted Dekker. No shade, love Ted Dekker.
Yeah.
Love Ted Dekker.
Yeah. I didn't really know what like a work of art was. And I happened to have this book of Ernest Hemingway short stories while I was in IHOP
Nice.
and living with Caleb. Actually, we were at the house. Me, Nate, Caleb, another buddy of ours, Dan, and Nate's wife, Lori, all lived together. And I read this short story, and I was just like blown away reading this thing. Just like I didn't realize how much magic could be in words.
Wow.
And it wasn't like a lot of Christian fiction can rely on like, and this is the point that we're trying to get at. It's hard.
The
It's
moralistic kind
Yeah.
of idea of it, yeah.
yeah, and when you read really good art, it's like, it doesn't necessarily have to have like a moral that you can rattle off really quickly.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I remember reading it. I sat down and read the whole thing, all 40 pages, and I was just put the book down and just shaking my head like, what do I do with this now?
Wow.
It's just there.
Yeah.
I remember walking out from my room afterwards and just sitting. I think you were having a fire, and I just sat down, and you guys were all talking, and I was just like, not saying much. And you were like, "You doing okay? You seem a little down." And I was like, "No, I'm not. I just read something." And this literature was discovered for me.
That's
so
awesome.
That was it. So that one's really special to me.
Cool.
It's a great story. I highly recommend it. And then let's see.
Say it again for the folks.
Yeah,
at
one
home.
more time.
The Short Happy Life of Francis Macomber by Ernest Hemingway.
Was it really, because if he died, obviously, spoiler, early.
Oh,
if it
because
was
it's the short happy. Maybe.
Oh my gosh.
Maybe not.
That gets into that whole like, would you rather have like a short happy life or like a long mediocre one?
Yeah.
We don't have to
How much
answer
of a-
that, but
We do have to answer that actually. And we're going to start with Nate.
Yes, I would love a long, mediocre life. That sounds so great.
I could tell by just looking at you. You want
Yeah.
a long
You
mediocre
want it.
life.
Okay, how about
No,
this?
I-
How about this though? How about this? Instead of a long mediocre, it's like long mediocre, but very impactful to those that you love.
ooh.
Yeah.
Or short and just a short party.
Short. Well, not necessarily party. You still have impact, but just not as much to the people that you love. So it's definitely like a sacrificial life.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's sacrificial now. So that's a whole nother thing.
We're changing it.
Okay.
And you're bald.
Just on one side of your head.
Just on one side of your head.
I have hair, people.
He does.
I just didn't want to show you.
Also, you got to put Lori back in the bag and draw a new wife at random.
No.
Better? Could be worse.
no.
Couldn't be better.
Couldn't be.
Couldn't be better.
It can only be worse.
So
So you get a worse wife.
So I have a worse wife in my long
in both scenarios?
impactful life or my short party
Your long,
life?
up to
impactful
Caleb.
life.
My long impactful life, and I have a worse wife.
But in your short one, you also have a different wife.
And
Just to
she's worse
switch it
too.
up.
So I have a different wife either way.
Yeah,
exactly.
Lori's gone.
Lori's God is what we're trying to get across.
She's living a good life somewhere else.
Yeah, she has a better husband somewhere else.
A better
Married to a
husband.
black man.
Whoa, cool.
African American.
Nice.
Yeah.
Good for her.
Good for her. She did well.
She did do
There
well.
you go.
She did.
It's Obama, Barack,
He's Michelle now.
Yes.
the Swiss Michelle.
Yes, in this story, Lori is Michelle Obama.
Lori
In the
Obama.
short, happy life.
Yeah, in the short happy life.
Yes.
In the short happy life, my wife, who never was my wife in
Yes.
any life possible, is
In the mediocre one, she's Brigitte Macron.
ooh.
But
Ooh,
So she could be a man either way. Why
Yes.
is that? Why is that a thing?
This is becoming about Lori.
Yeah.
It's like which punishment for Lori, basically.
And both are in the conspiracy world men.
Yes.
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 So that's fun. Okay. Oh man. I guess I'll do short
Short.
Short and
happy.
good.
Short happy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Lori's Bridget. That's great.
Yeah. So
Nice.
Lori's Bridget in that one.
Yeah.
Lori's
All right.
Bridget. You die at 13.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
that was really short.
I buried the lead on that one.
I'm still confused as to what the other life was. Was it mediocre or was it impactful?
It's mediocre for you, impactful for everyone around you.
It's more just a drudgery for me, but
Yes.
impacting everybody else.
Yes, super,
like
like-
Mother Teresa type thing. So it's like Mother Teresa or I don't know, some guy who died early. I don't know.
The
Okay.
guy from the short story.
Yeah.
Yeah, the guy, the short story.
I guess I'll do the long one. I'll get my crown in heaven.
Yeah.
That's very
that's-
sacrificial. Oh, you're not a Christian in it.
Oh. You were a Hindu the whole time. Oh no.
No, I think I could. We would all do the mediocre one, probably.
I guess.
Yeah.
You did. You made it impossible.
I
to say the
did.
other
Yeah.
I
one.
did it. I did for
You
sure.
really wanted to say the other one too.
Yeah.
I remembered after I posed the question, it's supposed to be, would you rather like find the love of your life, but you're only with her for 5 years or never have loved at all kind of a
Ooh.
thing?
That's a good question.
Yeah. So I
That's-
remembered that was the true context of it.
That's
but-
more.
That's
interesting. Like way to
Oof.
put it for sure.
When do we find the love of our life, though? What age?
Whenever.
Whenever?
Yeah.
But you only do they die or do we die?
I guess they would have to die.
they die and then we're just in mourning
Yeah.
for the rest.
Yeah.
That
Or just-
one,
Yeah.
for sure.
Definitely that one. Better to have loved and lost than
The never
Never
child.
loved
That's
at
a
all.
thing
Yeah.
that people say.
Yes.
So you know
Yes.
it's
I
true.
mean, it's a saying. Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, you could write a lot of sad songs about
That's
it.
true.
Yeah.
Get a little mercy.
Get lots of honeys with that.
There we go.
You didn't love them, but you,
Yeah.
You love them, you just use them.
Right.
Because you already loved.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So-
And lost.
Yeah, and lost.
Yeah.
what a terrible life.
Yeah. It's really good and then it really ends bad. Yeah.
Okay, one more time. What was the name of your short story?
The Short Happy Life of Francis Macomber.
Okay.
Cool. And
And-
you said you're writing some short stories as well?
Yeah. Yeah.
Cool. Do you have them
Trying.
published anywhere?
Not yet.
Or? Okay, cool.
Are you on any social platforms that people can follow you?
Yes. I'm on Substack.
Cool.
I post
Nice.
my interesting thoughts.
Cool.
I haven't
Let's
published any
go.
short stories on there yet because I want to have a few stored up before I start.
Not
Totally.
be misunderstood.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
exactly.
Exactly.
There you go.
What's your name on Substack?
Just my name,
Okay.
Karson Acton.
Cool.
Yeah.
Karson
Awesome.
Acton. Right on. Okay, over
right.
to Nate. What's something you like
Oh,
slash enjoy?
Let's see. I've been watching old classic movies.
Oh, nice.
Okay.
Like how
Recently.
old?
Like, let's see, I mean, Gone with the Wind, I've watched.
Oh, wow.
Citizen Kane, Streetcar Named Desire. So like, yeah, some old, that one's a little newer, but yeah. So like just getting into some of these old classics, trying to see like why they're seen as like the greatest, movies ever. They're very different. It's really an interesting to juxtapose those movies with like what we have now. And it's just like, there's a lot more dialogue in those movies, a lot more like,
interesting,
a lot more like plays and like, a lot of them have a lot less like sets. Like they're just kind of in like a few different places, probably just because we with technology now we just get so out of control, I think. But like there they just had to get a lot more creative with less, I think. And yeah, it's just they are harder to watch sometimes. Like they're slower. They're like you kind of have to like really dig in and try to. But you do find that for me at least, I always feel like there's something I know there's something a lot here, and I'm gonna pick up on it as I watch more of these types of movies, because it almost feels like a different, like it almost feels like a different art form than movies now in a certain way, because it's like the way they communicate. You're like is this like a time? Like is this did they talk different back then, or is this like a different way of conveying ideas? Does that make sense? It's a little hard. It's just it's like it just feels like a different art form sometimes, so that I don't fully understand. So it's been fun to like dive in and see like kind of where the modern movies kind of came from, and so it's been a good time just feeling, and I feel smarter too.
That's great. More
I feel
cultured.
superior.
You got it.
And they're generally pretty long in length, right?
Some of them, some of them like Gone with the Wind's really long. Some of them are shorter though. Like they kind of vary. I would say.
Nice. What have been your favorite ones you watched?
I did like Gone with the Wind. I liked Citizen Kane was good.
You see Casablanca?
Casablanca.
That's a good one.
I like that one. It was, I know people say that one's the best one. I didn't love it as much for whatever reason, but maybe it's because I was expecting it to be whatever.
Okay.
So great.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
It was.
It was.
Did you like it?
Yeah.
Casablanca? Yeah.
Nice.
I like it too.
No, it's good. No, it's good. What else?
What do you think's the number one takeaway? What do you think's the number one thing you wish new movies were doing that old movies did well?
Yeah, I would say maybe focusing on like the story and like the characters more, and less about special effects and all that kind of stuff. Like less about the visual. Like everything is so like visually stimulating, and I feel like that is it's a crutch a lot of the time. So it's like, everything's very visually like interesting, but it's like, did anything anything happen? Like, and I feel like I'm at the point, like I could not care less about special effects. Like the more there are, the less I care about them.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, well, it's like the downfall of like so many Marvel movies. It's just gone where it's like a crazy fight scene for 10 minutes that none of it's real. It's all
you see like a skyscraper come down.
Exactly.
Like, oh, there goes 10,000 more people.
Yeah.
Exactly.
We don't care.
Yeah.
Yes,
Totally.
exactly.
Who cares?
Yeah.
Totally.
And there's less like character development and things like that.
Yeah. There's like, whereas these stories, it's like because that's the thing. Like movies now, that they feel like we have to turn up a notch somehow. And so so now it's like it's not just an alien invasion. Now it's like you have like whatever. It's other dimensions, and you have a guy's gonna snap his fingers and half the world's gonna die, and like
And
we just have to
20 main characters.
20 main characters. Like we have to just ratchet it up so high, and then we did that. Now what do we do?
Yeah.
And, time travel, and we're like we're gonna destroy every time and every whatever.
Yeah.
I don't know what they're doing.
What's next?
Yeah.
Make them gay.
Make them gay. Make them all gay.
Then make them forget it, and then everybody restarts.
Yeah, but now it's like, but back then it's like they make a big deal out of like the whole story's about a guy who like Death of a Salesman. I think I did one I watched. And I was like basically about like a guy's just kind of an old guy. He's a salesman who's getting old. That's kind of the whole thing. He's just getting old and he's kind of losing it.
No
and
spoilers.
Yeah, sorry.
No, go on. Just be a little careful.
Yeah. I mean, that's. I'm just trying to give you at least that's the plot of it. It's all just about him losing his mind a little bit. He's just kind of losing his edge.
It never crossed my mind until you brought it up. I could have gone through it without knowing that.
But it all happens in one house pretty much too. Like,
Cool.
Oh, whoa, that's great. That's
so
really
it's
cool.
just like, and that was a play originally, I believe, too.
Wow.
So some of these are kind of more designed that way too. But yeah, so they just are a lot smaller. But I feel like we can get as emotionally invested into a tiny thing happening in a story as we can to
That's
like
a great point.
huge thing. Like it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
That's what we get. People get into soap operas, and it's just like, well, Cindy slept with Blake.
Right.
And, yeah, it's like, yeah, and that's the biggest deal ever right now. And also, all of Asia has been destroyed in this other movie, and that's equally as big a deal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really interesting.
So
Interesting.
yeah,
Yeah, just to piggyback, we watched one. It's called Arsenic and Old Lace, and there's this scene where it's back up a little bit. A lot of the time in those older movies, they pull the curtain down more over like things that happen, like sex scenes or deaths or that kind of thing.
Right,
They're just a little
right.
more modest. Which I mean, there's pros and cons, but they're more. They're not as explicit just in general with a lot of stuff. And there's a scene where they're like there's a corpse that is hidden from you, and they keep talking about it, but it's not in the shot. And they keep like opening up this thing and closing it back down, but you never see inside. And so you're kind of like one person, one corpse, and finally, like 3/4 of the way through the film, the corpse gets transferred. There's no spoilers here. It gets transferred, and it's like a dimly lit room. And the person comes in and transfers them, and you kind of see like the stiff legs poking out. And you don't know if they're going to show you because you haven't seen it this whole time. And then all of a sudden, it gets a little more light, and it is this really spooky scene. But I mean, how many corpses do you see in movies over and over and over again? It means nothing.
Right.
But because they had so much
Right.
restraint,
Yeah.
one corpse is like a really big deal, and it makes for a really
You're
spooky scene.
anticipating, like, oh,
Yeah.
am I going to see it? What's
Yeah.
everybody responding
Yeah.
to?
Exactly. So you didn't need the worms coming out of the eyes or whatever they do now to like try to make things spooky or eerie or like a violent death or something. It's just, and that's what spooky stories were always built on too, was like corpses or just, very,
Totally.
like
The
you can make a
anticipation.
ghost very scary.
Yeah.
Yeah. Without being all graphic about it. And yeah.
Yeah, it's the same thing with Jaws. Like you don't see the shark until almost the very end of the movie. And that was because they couldn't get the animatronic to
Right.
work.
yeah.
Right.
But
Really?
yeah, until and they're freaking out to the end of the movie. But you just see people getting taken under. You see a fin here and there, but it's the allusion to
Yeah.
the crazy thing that makes it so anticipatory.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really like that.
Yeah.
That's
As
fun.
because the imagination is far better at you'd walk through your house at night and you're scared. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like you could be
Totally.
freaked out, and there's no work. Nobody did anything to make that scary. It was just scary because your imagination is really good at it. So the more you leave to imagination, the scarier it can be. if
There
do
you
it
go.
right.
Fascinating.
And that's why every good scary story is built on the mystery. And as soon as they pull the curtain back and say, this is what it's like, you're like, oh, okay, I'm not scared anymore.
Yeah.
It just kills me.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, right.
Now I know. But it's
Yeah.
like what the heck is it?
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
what's scary.
And then you add in the music and the soundtrack, and you can just drive yourself nuts.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know, just the
Right.
music
Yeah.
alone can create that. Have you been watching many old musicals or just kind of
I've
films?
not done musicals
Okay.
really.
I've only the oldest movies I've watched were just old musicals, but
Yeah.
Singing in the Rain.
Singing in the Rain, Chitty Chitty Bang Bang, My Fair
Yeah.
Lady, things like that,
I-
which
I'll
are
get
another
into that at
beautiful
some
way
point.
of
Yeah.
telling stories.
Yeah.
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 How do you think you could tastefully allude to a gory fight scene? Because I feel like you almost need to see that. And you need to see the brutality of it in order to understand the gravity.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think there's anything inherently wrong with that, like with having stuff graphic. And I think if it's like a war movie, that's part of like
Yeah.
Saving Private Ryan or whatever, or like any like medieval kind of thing. Like
For sure.
I think there's room for that. It does feel like a fight scene, and that's the thing. Most like a lot of the old movies, fight scenes often feel like
Yeah.
That's one of the
Yeah.
places where like we've gotten
They
really
fall
good.
short
They fall
in the
short a
fight
little bit there.
scenes.
Like in terms of action, like like nowadays it's pretty cool. And I'm not
Yeah.
when you're seeing James Bond and like they're like that first one where there's the guy like doing all the like parkour kind of stuff. Like that's just cool.
Yeah.
So in terms of that, I'm not going to say that old movies are better.
The old ones are just like cuts to him and he just
The shot.
they always lunge with the shot to show that they're shooting.
And then there's just like,
the
a weird delay and then-
jerks forward.
Oh yeah, it's that. It's
And they slowly stagger.
Yeah, exactly.
But they land like propped up nicely.
Yeah, right.
Or like very
Totally.
peaceful. Yeah.
Yep.
totally.
Yeah, and if they want to make it really crazy, it's a lot of like close-ups of the face.
Yeah.
It's like,
You can't show the blood.
Yeah. So that's just an improvement that has been
for
made,
sure. That's the one, not the one thing, but that is one thing that Hollywood kills. Like as far as like Lord of the Rings style wars, that kind of thing.
Yeah,
like,
totally.
Yeah, it's worth watching just for that.
But even that, like Lord of the Rings, to me is the apex of the kind of epic battles and stuff, because it was like it's at the sweet spot because everything is still mostly real. Like the sets are like even there's a lot of miniatures and it's like real work that was put into it. And it's mostly real actors and stuff being like orcs and stuff. It's not these CGI orcs. And then you can see the difference between like The Hobbit and Lord of the Rings, like the original trilogy. It's like it's night and day. It's like the originals are so much better. They feel like a real world. And this guy goes with the same sort of concept of just like they took the time and there's subtle things they probably did to leave things more, a little bit more restrained in certain ways. But like, the new ones with everything's CGI and it's just like he's got a sword coming out of his arm and like I don't know, it's just like felt too much.
Yeah. Totally.
Yeah.
Now you've been getting into older movies and you've been getting into older literature for some time now. I know that you guys are both interested in history. In fact, you encouraged me to get into like hardcore history with what's his name?
Dan Carlin.
Dan Carlin,
Great
which
podcast,
is really fun. I'm not nearly into it as much as you are, but do you guys see a trend with men getting into history as they get older? And if you do, why do you think that is?
Good question.
Yeah.
Definitely to the first part of it.
Yeah, that seems true for sure. I'm trying to think of is that a generally true thing like throughout time, or is it especially poignant now?
Yeah,
I could see it being especially poignant now because it feels like we're in a time where like men don't know what to do. Yeah. We just don't know how to be men, and like because it's a weird world. It's like there's no frontier. There's no like real. Doesn't feel like there's battles to fight. So we're kind of like looking back. Like see like what do we do, like how do you be maybe, so I could see that being a thing, or just live vicariously through those stories. You live as a you read about the battles and you're just like I'm Napoleon, but I'm taller.
I could have beat Napoleon. That short man.
Yeah, I'm like a tall Napoleon or average height Napoleon. Apparently he was average height, but
He wasn't like a midget like you are. Very small.
He was, I think he was short compared to us, but everybody was short back then. I think it's
malnutrition.
But it's funnier to think of them short.
Yeah, exactly.
But anyways, yeah. So I don't know if there's something to that, like men just kind of looking back to because it feels like society's lost their way. But I think generally men tend to like history, and the older you get, the more they look back for some reason. I'm not sure why.
The trend too is violent history.
Yeah.
So it's not
wars.
Yeah. It would be different if it was like just love
History of the cotton gin.
right, which is actually fascinating to a lot of people.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
I think like industrial history is absolutely fascinating when you start learning about it. Going to the moon, that stuff is fascinating.
Did we? Sorry.
Oh yeah, it's a whole nother thing.
I forgot where I was. Sorry.
I forgot myself.
Yeah, but all that stuff is very interesting to people who are into history. But like the trend you're talking about is like World War II.
Yeah, that is what I'm referring to specifically. Yeah,
yeah, that seems to be the trend. It seems to be young men as they get older, they start gravitating towards this. And I think Nate's right. I think we have no idea as men what to do anymore. I remember I would always describe it as like I feel like I'm a bull who fell asleep. And they built a china shop around me. And when I woke up and I turned around, I shattered a bunch of vases, and they were like, "How dare you?" I'm like, "Well, why'd you put a freaking,
China shop
yeah,
here?"
why? Of course I'm going to break stuff." And it seems like I was born into a world where being a man, and breaking stuff just by dint of being a man is, how, you get the tisk tisk for it. And in war, that's needed.
Yeah.
And the respect is built in.
Yeah.
I mean, even like video games, like men loving video games, and like it's just this. But of course, that's not real, and you're not respected for that. You're shamed for that.
Interesting. But
Which
there
is
is maybe that
understandable.
innate desire to fight, to win, to
Yeah. And so we're just trying to find our way, and the history would be another way, probably more constructive way, of what we do with video games. But almost every man, and not all men, but I mean, like probably 75% at least of men who I talk to are. When you ask them about their hobbies, video games. Is a similar trend.
Totally.
And we live in a world where we're not wanted, not needed. And I'm not doing a gender war thing. I'm not saying it's women's fault. I'm just saying it's the world that we find ourselves in.
Yeah.
And we, I remember that what's that Shakespeare play, Much Ado About Nothing, where like the men go away. And they, that's the men's world. They go, it's like a seasonal thing. They go away and fight, and that's when the men are in charge. And they go and they fight, and that's their world, and they run it. And they come home, and the women are in charge, and that's the women's world. And it's okay, and it works because you know that you are also then going to. So there's this natural way, and now we just live in a woman's world essentially, where women run it, and women do run it. Like social circles, they just have this ability to make the world go round. But that's all there is anymore.
Yeah.
And so
there
we're
isn't
dreaming.
the war for the men to go do their part. Yeah.
So we're dreaming of, and we're not needed for protection. People aren't trying to break into our homes, like.
You're not having to like plant your own food and harvest it and keep animals away from it.
Yeah. So as far as like practical things, we're very much unneeded. And I know that good men are obviously super important right now. But as far as just like the practical things we always did, and the strengths that we had, it's not needed, not wanted, punished. And so we're dreaming of a world where that's not so.
Right.
Wow.
Interesting. Either through getting into history or playing video games.
Yeah. I'm sure there's other ways as well, but
that's probably some pretty good
Killing.
generalities.
Just love killing.
I just love killing. Psychopaths.
Which is why y'all.
Some men just go live it out with
Which is why.
Yeah. Sports.
Sports, for
Sports,
sure.
yeah.
Watching or playing.
Mainly watching.
Yeah, mainly
and
watching.
then talking about how
Is
they
that what
would
you
have
were
done.
gonna say?
No, I
Was
was going to
sports?
say that's why y'all are going on a hunting trip this weekend.
That's
Yeah.
You're all going to go
right.
shoot some boar,
Yeah.
a wild boar, and survive.
And there has been some talk of not eating unless we kill something to eat it.
Has been.
There has
My brother
been.
did
We haven't
that.
discussed it with you.
Yeah, in high school, he did that with some friends. They just went into the woods with just their clothes on their back to survive, and they caught a rabbit in a snare. And
They caught it?
Yeah, they had a pocket knife and like were in a lighter, and they started a fire, and they ate the rabbit.
Hell yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you
That's
know?
awesome.
See, that sounds amazing.
Yeah.
That sounds really fun. What do you think the female equivalent is? Of like when women are getting older, girls are turning into women, they start getting into this one thing. If you could point out one
Matchmaking.
thing.
Well, I mean, I would say either so. There's a big trend of women not wanting to, first off, get married, and if they do, not to have children. And so I think there's a little bit of that. We're innate need to nurture and care for either, a husband or children. So they turn towards maybe like their pets being their children.
This is a good one.
Yeah,
Interesting.
seeing lots of women that are like, they're like, oh, well, I have my fur babies. I'm like, that will never compare to a child. So they're kind of replacing what's like innately in us to care and nurture, either for, take care of a spouse or children, with an animal who's far less needy and you can just has a far shorter lifespan as well. Or on the other side, getting super into kind of like drama online, like Candace Owens,
Yeah,
who I
totally.
do not subscribe to any of her beliefs, and I feel like sadly she's kind of gotten a little wild. But like it is so draws you in to listen to the drama and the response of, oh, this commentator responded to this, or here's that. Not just with Candace Owens, but with so many people. And you'll see in the comment sections these women defending their chosen commentator to the death, as if like they know this person. you know, and like getting, oh, well, you haven't listened to all the episodes. You don't really know what you're talking about. So I think we're filling in that need for like social connection and meaning in life that maybe we're not having through a marriage,
That was really good.
Great answer.
That was good.
That was really
marriage
good.
or children with the drama that is, you know,
Wow.
online, the online world. Yeah.
The online world, the women's world.
Women's world.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay. So if you two, and then I'm going to ask you, but if you two were to give advice to men today on how to live in a women's world and not rely on fantasy from from back in the day,
We'll fix that in post.
We'll fix that in post. But how would you tell men not to rely on fantasy through video games or history and instead become a man today?
Assuming I am a man today.
Which is quite an assumption.
That's a stretch.
It is a stretch. We're reaching here because we're desperate. I can't answer this, so I need you guys.
You're at least as much of a man as Brigitte is. So,
Or Lori in another life.
yeah.
Apparently. Love you, baby.
Love you, Lori.
You're my girl. All right.
My girl.
You're my girl,
You're my
baby.
girl.
Yeah. All right. What was the question? Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, how to,
Yeah.
How to be a man, basically,
Yeah.
in a woman's world.
Yeah, advice.
Advice.
Advice to men who.
I mean, follow. This is gonna sound cheesy, but like, follow your heart, and by that I mean just like figure out who you are and what you want to do, and like just do it, and don't do this. Don't take the safe routes. Like, I feel like every man's got that call to adventure. It's calling to you probably, and you got to respond to it. And whatever that means for you, I don't know. You know, it's going to mean different things for different people, but it's definitely been the way I feel like I've progressed as a man has been out of the necessity of trying to make whatever these, you know, the things I want to do in life happen, you know, so then it forces you on this adventure, and any adventure story is just filled with mostly just bad things happening and hard things. Like, that's what it is. But yeah, we yearn for it. We yearn for, you know, the bear attacking you, or the you know, trying to cross the river and you're almost drowning. Like, that's pretty much an adventure story is just a bunch of that. But yeah, here we are. So it's like, the only reason we're doing it is because there's some goal at the end that we're trying to get to.
Yeah.
And it makes you do those things. And then of course you realize that the journey was so much part of what was great about it. But just like choosing a heading and choosing something that you're trying to do is and that can be a lot of different things, like in a career, of course, like career path that's like hard to do. That's one of the things for me, but also just like, you know, choosing, you know, whatever it's like your family and trying to be a good husband, a good father, and like having an end game in mind for that too. And just saying yes to the adventure of life will force a lot of positive action and positive change in your life, I think.
Mm-hmm. So seeing the end goal, embracing the difficulty along the way, and using the victories that you have as fodder to keep yourself heading towards that end goal.
Yeah, for sure. And I mean, walk with God for sure. And like, that's essential. Like he's the one, I think, really writing your story at some level, like, you know, different levels depending on who you are. Is it every step, or is it the general direction? Is he right? I don't know. But you know, there's no question to me that he guides you. Like you'll if you start in that direction, you start taking those steps on the adventure, you'll see that path just opened up. Okay, we're going to go there. And then you'll hit a dead end and you'll be like, what is that? And then, the path opened up over there. And you just feel the leading. So you'll, just walk with God through all of that. And just, say yes to it. That's really all your only job is just to say yes to whatever the adventure is that God is wanting to put you on.
Love it.
That's awesome. Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, it's good.
Anything?
Yeah. I would say it's hard to talk about without coming across rote for sure.
That's right.
Because I don't know.
We are going to talk about this at your funeral, just so you know. So it better be good.
Yeah.
Karson used to say.
You just explain yourself now.
Oh, man. So he was seen. Yeah, I think something that helped me get through, because like I would watch Braveheart or play Halo or get into fantasies like this of wanting just that, like read Lord of the Rings. Like I just want that. What is it? I don't know, and I don't know how to get it. And so you try to like, I don't know, immerse yourself in the vibe of Lord of the Rings. Like if I could get the sword and get the like and just pretend or just like get really obsessed with the lore. A lot of people go that route, immerse themselves in like Lord of the Rings. This is something actually my wife taught me early on, which is it's not really that thing that you're looking for. You're not actually looking for Lord of the Rings. And you're never going to find it by immersing yourself in the culture. And the story she always gives, which is a great illustration, is this guy who came to Hobbiton. She's from New Zealand. And this guy came to Hobbiton and he was just obsessed, right? Because he's like, I want this thing and it doesn't exist. And so he's learned Elvish?
Yeah.
Elvish.
The language.
The Elvish language. And he has like the outfit and all this stuff. He's like, I'm going to go to Hobbiton where everyone is like me and we're going to be in Lord of the Rings. And that's the place, that's where it exists in the world. And he goes, and of course it's a tourist place. Like no one knows.
Right. You can't
Elvish
go into all the houses,
He tries to speak to the tour guide in Elvish. And of course you don't,
Yeah.
It's just their job. And they happen to like Lord of the Rings and he's just depressed, he's just miserable for the whole trip because he thought this is the one place he's going to find it. And she talks about how when she was a kid, she realized that it's not in the books because she's a big reader. It's like this thing that I love. The magic doesn't live there. And C.S. Lewis also has something where he says, I write fantasy, I write fairy tales, I write magic, not so that people can escape to a pretend world where there's magic, but so that hopefully they can bring some magic back into the real world.
Wow. That's cool.
Yeah. So what I'm trying to get at is I think the first step 100% is to realize that history, video games, sports, whatever the thing is that's the siren call. That's the thing that's speaking to you, telling you you want this. But as soon as you try to grab hold of that and say, this is it, it dies in your hand because it's not big enough.
Right.
And the other thing that someone, John Eldridge, said one time that helped me a lot is he said, the person who's in the fight, swinging the sword, in the sweat and the blood, is not thinking about how heroic he is. He's not feeling heroic. He's confused. He's tired. He doesn't know if he's doing the right thing. It is not. You don't feel that. When you read it, you feel it. When you see someone else doing it, you feel it. When you're in it, it's confusing and it's difficult. And that's he calls it the fog of war. And that's how we feel most of the time in our lives. And so it's like, well, if you were getting that feeling all the time, you're probably pretending. So that's a little bit of comfort to men who are, feeling that way. And it's if you were, the feeling that you get when you read about those wars isn't the feeling you'd have when you were there. So that's the other thing. And then the last piece of advice I think that I would say is find a way, whatever way you can, find a way to make your life about something bigger than yourself, about other people. And who think rather than thinking about what do I want to do with my life, think about who do the people around me need me to be. And that's, I think, a man's job. And so it's unfortunate, I think, that our practical abilities are not as needed. It makes it harder to be a man. And that's what I meant about not wanting to be rote. Like, I don't want to say it's all spiritual. You just have to, you're not really looking to go out and have to hunt and gather. It's like, no, you are actually looking for that because that is actually when your abilities as a man were needed.
Yeah.
And they're not needed anymore. So it's not like this. It is a hard thing to answer because we're not needed in wars anymore. We're not, hopefully, not hopefully we fight again, but hopefully our strengths and natural abilities are needed again in the future sometime. Right now, look at your family, look at your friends, even your workplace. Like, what do they need you to be? And you are really, really needed. Like your daughter needs you, and she needs you to be a good man. And what is that good man that she needs you to be? I think that is as close as you can get to fulfilling that. And then use the history and use the video games. Use it as, well, first of all, as entertainment. But secondly, use it as a reminder of the macro of the type of man you want to be, like the thing that you're shooting for.
Totally.
And then you have to put it through the interpretation of how does this look in my real life. And it's not romantic. It feels confusing. But then it feels more like it actually is. So
yeah.
So
embrace the reality of the fog of war.
Yeah.
And then fight for something bigger than yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah. Find a calling bigger than yourself. That's huge.
Wow.
That's really good advice.
Great answers, guys.
That's awesome.
It's deep.
All right, babe. Going to the ladies. What should they be doing instead of getting into Candace Owens?
Tucker.
The male equivalent. I don't know. I think that meaningful things take work and are difficult, and that's okay. So by that, I mean that, like, I think that women should aspire to be a part of a team or a group or a partnership, whether that's they're involved in a community where they're needed and can serve and be served and helped in a marriage where you're, partners with your husband, or having children where you are serving and taking care of somebody. That all those things can be kind of difficult, being married, having kids, being in a community of people takes work and effort, but it's actually very meaningful. And I was reading this study the other day that for the first time in recorded history, this younger generation, meaning 25 years and younger, less girls have the desire to be married than boys. And so men historically, I think it was for the last 30 years, have hovered in between 70 to 75% of guys want to be married someday. And girls were always in the 80s and 90s. And right now, the last surveys have shown that like 72% of women aspire to be married. And that's not even to have children. So for the first time ever, less women want to even get married. And even more than that, don't even want to date. Because first off, guys can kind of suck sometimes.
Yeah.
And also you're sold this idea that like, that will hold you back. Being partnered with somebody will keep you from your dreams and stuff. And I would argue that you can actually achieve most of your dreams best by being with somebody, either through a marriage or partnering with a community, having children. So that, but that doesn't mean that it's not difficult. But difficult things often are the most satisfying and the most, beneficial in the long run. So I don't know, put your time and effort into things that matter. And even if it's difficult, and it's easier to sit at home and, play a phone game and watch Candace Owens. And like, that's like, kind of fun and it's easier, but in the long run, it's comfortable. But I don't want to be doing that when I'm 60.
Yeah. Yeah, totally. It's for a time.
Exactly. Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
do something meaningful. Yeah.
Do something meaningful.
Yeah. And commit to a person, commit to having children, commit to marriage, commit to a community or a church. Like, I think we're told not to commit. Leave our options open. Dream for the stars. And it's like, you can do that while actually, staying connected to people. And I don't know, I think because of social media, we imagine, especially like, Instagram models, they're all beautiful and perfect and their hair is usually fake and it's airbrushed. And most people don't get to just go to Malaysia, for the weekend or Tahiti. Most of us actually live in our small world where we go to our 4 or 5 same places, our coffee shop, our grocery store, our couple friends. And that actually is a super fulfilling life, but we're told it's not. Yeah.
Can I ask a follow-up?
Yes.
So you're saying that guys suck a lot of the time.
I didn't say like some guys suck.
No, you're right though, for sure.
So
for sure. Right. Who in this room?
None of you. Scale of out of the 3.
Oh, no.
So my question is, because I've heard this a lot, that there's a lot of girls who don't want to get married because they're like, look around, basically. Look around. The guys who are eligible are undesirable. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, statistically, there's more guys that desire to get married than women. So statistically, there should be more maybe guys that are okay available now. But I don't know. I think that's difficult. I think where are you going to find the eligible people probably isn't on Hinge or Bumble or at a bar. It might be at your church or in a book club or in a sporting, kind of context that likely, I don't know, finding people that have a little bit of your same, desires in life. And also I think we've been sold that, and I'm all for romance and having a beautiful fairy tale. But I think that it can be just like finding somebody who's like, they're a decent person that like hits my top values of like, they actually want to get married. They love Jesus. They have a job. And it doesn't have to be we met in this beautiful way. And then this was that. And that I think people think that they want the bad boy or the risky person or the, kind of, I don't know, the big, like a movie. When actually like we should be told like it's okay to like marry your neighbor who's like solid and like has a job and like likes you and
this
you
is
like
bumming
them.
me out.
Yeah.
Neighborly Caleb.
Thought I was a bad boy.
Neighborly Caleb.
Neighborly Caleb.
Oh, neighbor Caleb.
But I also feel like in my college years were spent in the context where there were a lot of eligible men. And so
Intercessors.
I got but so I chose the person that I loved the most.
Who also was a bad boy by
He was a bad boy.
IHOP standards.
Exactly.
For sure.
A little wild. So
That's so true.
Wild child.
By
know,
church standards.
by church
yeah.
standards.
Oh, yeah.
So, I mean, that's just off the cuff. I'm sure I could rethink that and word it in different ways, but I don't know.
It's
Push back on
interesting.
it.
No. I think that's a great answer.
Yeah.
A friend of mine is going through like a stupid thing with a guy where he is just immature. He's just an immature guy. And we were talking about it and I was like trying to think through like what is this thing about guys like that there's so many guys in their 30s who are just they don't seem reliable.
That's valid.
And it's not just financial. A lot of them are financially responsible, but they just don't seem reliable. And so many women feel like I don't want to take on a project. I don't want to take on a boy who needs me
That's valid.
and try to convince him to try to become a man. And I was thinking about that because she was showing me some of the texts that he had sent her, and I was like, God, this sounds like me. Sounds like me like 5 years ago or whatever. And it hurt. I was like, this guy's being so stupid right now.
Yeah.
But I also empathize with him because
Totally.
I was also a big immature dummy when I was, single. And then I started dating Leah, who's my wife now, your cousin.
Yes,
And-
sir.
Nice. Which means that I'm related to you.
Yeah, man.
That's
Isn't that
weird.
crazy?
No, Caleb's blood will run in my children's veins.
That's right.
Which is nuts.
I got in you.
You got in all up in.
I got all up in your blood.
The Acton line will live on.
Hell yeah.
Yep.
Through me.
So, but anyway,
About immature and like, yeah.
yes. So I remember being that way. I remember, and I won't tell any tales out of school, but remember talking to Caleb when you guys first started dating, and some of the things that he said is a similar kind of story of just like a lot of the time when we back up, we're supposed to have fathers who are supposed to teach us how to talk to girls and how to be
Men.
men, to be strong, to be consistent, to be manly. And so many of us don't. And even those of us who do have good ones, a lot falls through the cracks because they're not God.
Yeah.
So, but we're supposed to have men. We live in a terribly fatherless world. And so, I remember I have wanted my whole life to be like a good person. I've worked on myself my whole life. And I was so far behind probably someone who had a good, active, strong dad who was present.
Right.
Who probably didn't try half as hard.
Right.
Just because that was how God intended it. You're
There we go,
not
yeah.
supposed to have to follow yourself.
Yeah.
So And my dad wasn't with me from when I was 12 on. So
Right.
I had to like try to figure this stuff out. So anyway, what I see now when I look back on my early years of my relationship with my wife is that she saw all of my stupidity.
Yeah.
She didn't tell me, but she saw it.
Yeah.
And she saw that it was worth putting the time in because
Yeah.
I wanted to be a good man and I was trying. And so instead of shaming me, instead of rolling her eyes, she'd be like, yeah, you're great.
Yeah.
Like
That's
tell me to
Like I am?
yeah, like I'm peacocking. Like I know I am.
Yeah,
I know
totally.
I'm the bomb.
Totally.
Yeah.
I'm great.
Yeah, I'm the man.
And instead of cutting me down, she would say, yeah, you are the man.
Wow.
Because she wanted me to be the man that, and so in that way, I think the woman makes the man in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
If the material's there. Now, not through manipulation
Right.
and control, but through respect,
Yeah.
acceptance, love, and gentle guidance. Like
Wow.
consistent guidance. Like that was one thing that I respect a lot about my wife is that she wouldn't nag, but when we would disagree on something, I would try to convince her, if we disagreed, I'd try, and she'd just say, no, I just don't see it that way. And I would like build up all these arguments again and be like, ha! She'd be like, I just don't see it that way. She didn't feel the need to
Tell you why you were wrong.
debunk it. Yeah. But she would just quietly, consistently, I don't feel like that's healthy, And I think a lot of the time that's a woman's strength too, is just
Yeah.
the gut.
Yeah.
Of course, women are smart as well,
Yeah.
living proof.
Yeah. Here we go.
But they also have a very, men, I think, tend to try to think through things very logically. And a lot of the time it drives us crazy because, like I have a family of all girls and they'll just be like, I just don't think that's right. Like,
Yeah.
come on, like give me something here. Like I'm trying to, and it's definitely not foolproof by any means. But point of what I'm trying to say is that I think a lot of the time, and the advice that I gave to this friend of mine is, you got to answer two questions, which are number one, is the raw material there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it even there? Is he trying? Is he the kind of person who, not through manipulation, not through control, someone
Yes.
you could
Yes.
coax,
Right.
invite into and might actually live into that? It's still a risk.
Yeah,
He could ruin your
totally.
life.
Yeah.
And that's why they don't want to get married. Because
Exactly,
it's like
yes.
looking at our parents like, really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
But
Totally.
he could ruin your life.
Right, yeah.
But is it worth it to you to put in the time and energy and effort it's going to take?
Yeah.
You got to really think through whether it's worth it to you. And I agree with you. I think that
Mm-hmm.
it should be. But I think those are the two questions you have to ask. Because if he has
Totally.
it and if it's worth it to you to have a life where the meaning is built in and you're not
Yes.
looking for it all the time, chasing it, trying
yeah.
to find it,
Yes.
then go for it. Go for that guy.
Totally, yeah.
But it is unfortunate because I think a lot of women, they want the man to just pursue her
Right.
and come in and be
have
sure
it
of
all
himself.
together. Yeah.
And in a lot of ways, he should be that, but
Yeah.
we don't have dads who are supposed to teach us
Yeah,
that.
and culture has told us that that's wrong and aggressive.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And to add to that, like I've heard the saying, like, don't marry the person for who you hope they'll be. Marry them for who they are right now. And like hypothetically, that's a
Oof.
good idea.
Yeah.
But I think that's great to marry somebody who, like you said, has the raw material, who has a desire to grow and to love you, and that's what I was trying to get into. Like the movies, it's like, oh, the guy that's got it all together and got the job and it's perfect. It's like, that's not, just because that doesn't mean that's the right person because they've got it all together. And I think ladies are told, oh, he needs to make this much money and he needs to be this height and he needs to do all this and have his 401k together. Like, what if you married somebody who is really sincere and a bit immature, but had the reach in their heart to grow? In which case, like, yes, you marry them for who they are right now, and maybe you should be fine if that's as far as they go.
Yeah.
But like knowing that that's not who they're going to be forever, and you allow them to be a man.
Yeah.
I think it's big. You don't have to fix everything. You can just let them be a man.
I feel like men have to be forged at some level, whereas like women, I saw that somewhere. Like women, you at some level you'd want to preserve what they are, and men have to be like forged. They have to be pushed through something and kind of like made into something better. And if that feels true, it feels like women have like a base level of competence that we're almost born with, or like by like 13, they're like,
Yeah.
their room looks pretty. they're kind of tidy and they
Yeah.
do their homework.
Yeah.
And boys are just wild still. Like it takes them a good 7 more years to even get to that point.
Right. Yes.
And so it feels like at some level, I think something a way women can help men is like be willing to be dependent on them.
Yes.
I think because men won't do anything they don't have to do.
Yeah.
I don't think. I don't.
Interesting.
I don't think unless we're driven by need. Like I would rather just like whatever sit on the couch and like play my guitar or whatever,
Right, yeah.
or watch a show. Like, but it's like it's need is what drives us more than like more than like some lofty goal or whatever. Like I think a lot of times at least. So it's like if women but now like going back to our previous thing where we feel like we're in a kind of a women's world in some ways. Like women are pretty self-sufficient. You go get your own job and you go get your own, you make your own money.
Yeah.
And so a lot of people have women have their own bank accounts and men have their own bank accounts.
yeah.
It's like they're not needed at all. You split the housework, you split all these things. There's no like give and take at all. It's not like, you know what, I'm gonna stay home and I'm gonna make you a beautiful home. And you gotta bring home some money so we can have food.
Yeah.
Yes.
You know, it's like,
Totally.
and then if that's the give and take, that's like, oh, okay, I'll do that. Okay,
Right.
yeah. I like having you make a nice house.
Right.
You know, every woman, you go to any bachelorette pad,
Yes.
it's nice.
Yeah.
You go to any bachelor pad, it's a chair
generally-
and a TV on the ground.
And that's a good one.
Yes, that's very
If it's
true.
not a mess.
Yeah.
Yes.
If that's if they're
true.
minimalist. Yeah, if they've been too poor to buy things. If they
Yes.
have money, then it's just
it's a wreck.
strewn
Right.
with
Yeah.
Taco Bell wrappers.
Taco Bell, fast food,
Let's go.
and like action figures everywhere, and whatever.
Right.
Yeah, so it's like, getting a little bit back to some of those more like those gender roles that are a little traditional or whatever. But
Right,
it's
yeah.
like it calls men up because you
Right.
have to. You're like I'm dependent on right now.
Yeah.
I have to do this.
Yeah.
So
it
good.
forges you through it.
Yeah.
And so I think there's something to that
That's
too.
good. Yeah, and I think it's gotten harder in culture for women to learn to be needy or let somebody take care of them because we're getting married later than ever before in life. Whereas, even 50 years ago, most people got married around 18 to 22.
Right.
Now it's like 30,
Yeah.
if then. So as a woman, you've lived most likely outside of your parents' house for 10
Right.
plus years.
It's like expected that you need to be
making
able
your
to
own
do
money,
your own thing.
doing your own thing.
Yeah.
And then even if women do choose to get married in the economic climate of our world, most marriages, both spouses have to work.
Right.
And so it even adds to this, you don't need people because you're like, well, actually you need me to
Yeah.
make money
Yeah.
so we can pay our mortgage for
Yeah.
our stupid expensive house. And so it's like creating the women who like in their hearts, they probably don't want to be as independent as they are, but by force of nature they are. And then they get used to it. And then they get
Yeah.
married at 32 and just,
Yeah, and they're like, well, I want to do my own thing and do the way things the way I
exactly.
wanted
Yeah.
to do them.
Yeah.
And the guy's probably more immature because that's just how it
exactly.
is.
He's like, okay,
Yeah.
cool. Yeah.
But back in the day, it was like 30-year-olds were marrying like 18-year-olds because like
Right.
the men.
You
So
were on
that's
your-
how long it took for the men to like
Catch up.
to catch up. It was like they were like kind of even at that point.
Yes.
They're
Yeah.
like,
And then one
so
last
funny.
point, and then we can wrap it up. But also, men scientifically mature at a slower rate
Yeah.
than women. So I
Interesting.
think there's a part
No, you.
of women actually. What? Not you?
No, you.
Oh, me?
No, you're a girl. You didn't grow like me.
No, I was so smart my whole life. That there is a little bit, I think, grace that women need to give to men, especially if you're dating in your
true.
early 20s. That like, it's not that men are suck or are unintelligent, but there's like scientifically, like your brain's not all there. And
Yeah.
men, like
Yeah.
you mentioned, they're not going out and farming the fields and fighting the wars. And like, there's that part that I think stays underdeveloped for longer. And then women look down on men for being weak, but they have no place to become who they were meant to be.
Yeah, in a women's world, just like
Yeah.
we said. I do like
I'm
the
a
points.
Barbie girl.
You know,
Girl.
it's terrible. It sucks.
Man, this could be either your highest or lowest rated episode. I
I'm
appreciate
having
it.
fun. I
Clicks.
feel like-
That's all we
I
need.
feel
They can be
like-
mad.
I appreciate the honesty.
Come at me.
I like the values that are like you guys are about though, because I heard something the other day. It's like how do you teach somebody to be a good leader? And it's like, well, you give them a little bit of responsibility at a time. And I feel like like what you're saying is like, okay, yeah, they have to have the raw materials. And then what you're saying is like you have to trust them with something in order for them to be able to meet that standard. And you're saying like break the societal norm. And that would be breaking the societal norm. And so we need to, trust men again with something in order for them to meet that, and then continue to trust them in order to build a leader out of this man. And so women, in a lot of ways, are the leader makers in the relationship because of the trust that they need to put into the man to step up.
Can I make one more point?
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah. So just when you were talking, it occurred to me that it's similar to, I mean, in the Bible, the marriage between a man and a woman is likened to a marriage to God and His church, and it's very similar that like in the modern world, because of how successful we've become and all this stuff, in the same way that a woman doesn't need a man, in a lot of ways we don't need God for the things that we used to, or at least we don't think we do.
So true.
Yeah.
And so we have to have a chosen weakness. We have to choose weakness to rely on God for Him to come through. And then your world gets bigger and miracles happen, and it creates the space and the opportunity for Him to work. And then you just feel like, okay, this is how it's supposed to be somehow. Even though I technically had enough money before, I had food, I had a house. When you choose that weakness and you allow God to be your strength, and you allow yourself to be in lack, and you allow yourself to trust, and He comes through, and He comes through for you, you just realize that I guess, I mean, this is horrible sounding, but that hierarchy is in place where you're like, I rely on God. In the question, like as Christians, we could say, well, I don't need no God, I got what I need. And it's like, well, is getting what you need, is that our highest calling? Is that what you want most out of life, to just,
Yeah.
but when you fall into the rhythms of nature, of our natures and how we're supposed to be, then things work as they should. And I think that you could draw a similar comparison between men and women, where if women could find a chosen, like, yes, they could have all those things. If they could choose to rely in some ways on their husband, a chosen vulnerability where now he has to come through. And now, I mean, marriage is the first one, right? You're linking yourself to this man. You're saying, I'm choosing to put myself in a place of risk where you can ruin my life. Yeah. That's the first one. Yeah.
Totally.
And then you're choosing to put you're choosing to open your heart to him, so you can hurt me. You're choosing to not have a career. Like, if you divorce me, I'm screwed. I have no way to make money.
Yeah.
Like there are these ways where all of a sudden the man's like, maybe I am needed.
Yeah.
In this world.
And
Maybe
you
I am,
let somebody be a man.
Yeah. And then, I think that, you hear about people like they can't afford a house, and then they get married and they fall into traditional roles, and all of a sudden they can. So things work. Like when you're living according to nature, I think things start to work. But I think it's something you got to choose.
It's good.
That was really good. That was a great way to sum that up. Nicely done.
Nice.
Okay. Well, is the camera still on? Wow.
Yeah.
We're still rolling. That's crazy. Those batteries are nice. Well, this has been stuff that we like/enjoy. Where can people get a hold of you guys?
Follow your wisdom.
Yeah. Substack, Nate Yake on Substack. And I have my publication, The Casa Sound, music and all kinds of beautiful works of art being displayed there for mass consumption.
Casa Sounds. How do you spell that out?
The Casa, CASA sound.
Okay. The Casa.
the name of the
Spanish.
Yes, Spanish. It's actually an acronym, but I won't say what it's an acronym for. It's a secret.
You'll have to visit to find
You'll
out.
have to visit, and maybe you'll glean it. It's not said there either. It's a little mystery.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh.
Do you
Yeah, I
even
don't-
know what it means?
I do.
Oh, okay.
I know.
I know what it
You're-
is.
okay.
I know Nate still hasn't figured out
Yeah.
the theme for me.
Yeah.
So,
Exactly.
hey, Karson, where can people?
Karson, Acton is Substack. It's the only public social media that I'm on. It's a place where I put out thoughts and maybe someday put out short stories. So,
Love it.
Love it. You want
Cool.
to take us out, babe?
Well, this has been Stuff That We Like / Enjoy, and we'll see. Is that how I end it? I feel like I'm. Oh, yes. This has been Stuff That We Like / Enjoy, at least at this point in time, and we'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.